This is it, the grand finale of the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championship presented by Motul for season 22. For this championship deciding round, we are at the Bend Motorsport Park, Australia's newest world-class motorsport facility, just 1 hour from South Australia's capital of Adelaide. Using the national circuit this weekend at the Bend, we go down the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance start finish straight into turn 1, a very tricky corner, and then a fast combination of turns 2 and 3 before we get out to the wider open spaces and turn 6, which has caught many out this weekend. Then we go round through the fast back area of the circuit, a long way from the pits, down the Dunlop corner, turn 12, up the back straight to turn 13, and then through the final bowl section, right across. Great spectating for the spectators here this weekend through this section, down through Michelin corner, turn 17, one of the trickiest on the track, and turn 18, back onto the start-finish straight. Let's find out more about this circuit with Steve Martin.
The Bend has cemented itself as one of Australia's premium circuits. The facilities here are second to none. The track is fast, challenging, and absolutely an amazing track to ride. Its 18 corners create plenty of racing action. The Motul Turn 1 here at the Bend is one of the most important corners on the track. It's not often we can say that about a Turn 1, but it's such a long drive off the start line to this corner. The speeds are so high, it's easy to get that braking point wrong. People will be diving up the inside, bumping into people, plenty of action to be had here. It's hard to make it through here and into Turn 2. If Sector 1 is tight and twisty, this is where the Bend really opens up in Sector 2. Turns 7, 8, 9 and 10, you have to really be pinpoint accurate and thread the eye of the needle through here. And check out this undulation. It's one of the key factors of this circuit. The final sector here is hectic. Through Michelin and into My Bike, there's at least 3 different overtaking opportunities, and that's not even including how important it is to get the slipstream to the start-finish line. It's a long drive up to that line. It is possible to slipstream, and you want to get the job done. And that is your Honda Track preview for the Bend.
Well, there's your grid. Harry Voigt will start from the front row of the grid with the local South Australian Dallas Skier on board bike number 86, and the man that sits third in the championship, Tom Bramage. 2 victories last time out, and also he qualified on pole position. Second row of the grid, Ty Lynch, another man that knows this track well, been doing a lot of coaching here. Scott Nicholson, the Victorian, and Arch McDonald. Great to see him back after competing last round. Another rider coming back from overseas, Steve.
Yeah, Jake Farnsworth starts on row 3 with John Littress trying to win that championship in this race if he can. Tom Drain having his last race in 9th just behind him. Reece Belling, the bricklayer, 6 to 1, cement to sand. That's how he's got his number. Jack Pasveld, who was super competitive last time out at Phillip Island. Jack Favell rounds out row 4.
Declan Carberry on board, the only Suzuki in the field. Tarbin Walker on board a Yamaha, and Luca Durning, bike number 212, make up row 5, with Cody Wyman all the way from the US having his first hit out on the Addicted to Track R6. Bronson Pickett and Noel Mann back there on row 6. Row 7 will be Morgan McLaren Wood, John Quinn and Mitch Simpson on board bike number 66. Let's go down to KP in pit lane with a very special guest.
I've got Jack Miller here. Jack, you've got your rider out there, Harry Voigt. Any words of advice that you've given him?
No, don't listen to me. No, he's doing a fantastic job. He's been riding well all weekend. Second race now on the big bike, but no, he's doing a good job. And starting from pole, I think he's got a good shot at this one. So if he keeps going like he has been, he'll be right.
Thanks, Jack.
Cheers.
I like how Jack's got his name on his shirt just in case anyone didn't know who he was.
I don't think he's the only guy that doesn't need his name on his shirt.
Well, we're getting ready to go racing for Michelin Supersport. The championship is poised. It could be won this race, but the chances are it's going to go on to this afternoon. Voigt starting from pole position. Supersport is go. Great jump off the line there for Harry Voigt on board bike number 29. And as they make their way down towards turn 1, he's moved out into the middle of the track. The field will now come right over to the right-hand side of your screen as they make the run down into turn 1. It looks like it is Dallas Skier on board bike number 86 that will take up the running through turn 1. Big field of riders for Michelin Supersport. Harry Voigt having a look up the inside of Dallas Skier, takes the lead early at turn 3.
Scott Nicholson's up there as well. That was a good start by him. Ty Lynch is there. But Dallas Skier what a brilliant start by him. John Littress is back in the pack, isn't he? He's really struggling. He's back in 10th position there, so I would say he's definitely got a few nerves going on. He's just got to keep his nose clean in this one, but sometimes that's easier said than done with the amount of pressure on his shoulders and where he sits in the championship at the moment.
Well, and also where he sits in this pack. There's a lot of action happening back there with lots of overtaking, so Littress just needs to stay out of trouble on the first lap. Tom Bramich hasn't got a good start either from his grid position, and he's dropped back to about 5th or 6th position on this first lap. So they come round down through this very tricky... Oh, there's Ty Lynch going up the inside.
That was a fantastic move by Ty Lynch, but he just runs slightly wide. Bramich goes past, so he made the dive up the inside work, but then he lost a lot of time on the exit.
Yeah, that was the entry to the short back straight from Dunlop Corner up to Alpine Stars, and Ty Lynch has dropped back behind Nicholson and Bramich. Now the next rider through will be Tom Drain on board bike number 59. Then it's Archie McDonald on 69, coming back from racing overseas and heading back overseas again next year as well is Archie McDonald. Keep your eye on him. He had a strong performance on the podium last time out at Phillip Island, but then had a technical infringement with his motorcycle that was no fault of his own. They just picked the bike up in the week leading up to the event. As we come round to complete the first lap now through Ride Your Motorcycle to Work Week corner, out onto the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance start-finish straight. What a lead for Harry Voigt. It is 1.4 seconds over Dallas Skier in second, Scott Nicholson in third, Bramich up to fourth, Lynch in fifth.
Yeah, that was a proper first lap by Harry Voigt. You can just see him sideways there into that turn one.
That was full Moto2 style, wasn't it?
It certainly was, but I mean, he's been riding in such a competitive field throughout the year that he's coming here. He's probably taken it easy on the first lap to what he's used to. Archie McDonald there on his machine as well, that new R6 this time out, not riding the older one, so it's good to see him. I think that bike was just a road bike or something built up this week, so he's doing a great job adapting to that. Tom Drain just in front of him, having his last ride, and tries to go up the inside, does the number 69, doesn't quite pull it off.
That was Archie having a big look up the inside there of Tom Drain. Drain on the all-red machine, as we mentioned, from Western New South Wales.
Scott Nicholson doing a good job there in that third position. He's one of the few Michelin shod riders in the field too, so just showing you, what he can do. With those Michelins, they normally take 1 or 2 or 3 laps to warm up, and then they really get sticky after that, and then they stay strong till the end of the race.
There's that Jack Passfield on the 42 entry, the Stay Upright Rider training bike, a little bit further back than we'd normally associate with Jack Passfield. He is returning from injury, had a good run last time out at Phillip Island. That was his return to the Michelin Supersport category after virtually not competing for the entire year. Look at this very close group now that involves Scott Nicholson, Tom Bramich and Ty Lynch. And they are second, third and fourth in the championships too, Steve Martin. And they're third, fourth and fifth in this race as Ty Lynch has a big lunge up the inside, goes up the inside of Tom Bramich. Now, of all of these riders, Ty Lynch has probably done more laps around here than the rest of the field put together.
Well, it's Lynch and Bramich for that second place in the championship at the moment. They're close on points, so it's critical out of these two guys. They will put it on the line to, finish in front of one another.
Well, remember, from third place back in the championship points at the end of the race, there is only 1 point difference. So they are squabbling over a single point at the moment, and Bramich back in front of Ty Lynch on the brakes down into turn one. Big move there at Motul Corner for the Apex Group Bear Bird Carl Cox Motorsport entry of Tom Bramich.
Well, there was 1 point between them coming into it in the favour of Ty Lynch. So Tom Bramich, if he finishes in front there, they will be equal on points again heading into the final race this afternoon.
And the way that this score is going, this race may not be decided in this one because John Littress is a fair way back, currently sitting in 8th place. He has got about a half-second lead over Jack Passfield in 9th position, but he is also about 1.3 seconds behind Tom Drain in 7th.
Yeah, look, he is just taking it easy out there. He just wants to stay out of trouble and basically seal this one easily, not make a mistake. I mean, I've got no doubt that if he really wanted to push, he could be up there with these guys. But to be honest, he's doing the right thing. He's not feeling 100% confident this weekend. That we had that wet session. So, yeah, just ride around, basically. Confirmation
of a jump start penalty there for the Irish racing team rider John Quinn on board bike number 31. So John Quinn currently sitting back in 19th position. Will have some time added to his eventual finishing time as we concentrate on this battle for third place on the road. But it really is the battle between second, third and fourth in the championship.
Yeah, and you just got to think of the pain that Ty Lynch is going through at the moment with that separated ankle. You put a lot of pressure through your feet at this circuit, changing directions from full lean angle one way to full lean angle the next way. You don't get a lot of upright time here, so constant pressure there as they head into Motul corner. And it's Tom Bramich looking for a way past Scott Nicholson, but can't do it there. Runs a little bit wide, allows Ty Lynch to look at a few different lines, but just sitting there. Remembering that this dice between these three guys is also for the last spot on the podium, so nobody wants to finish second in that battle, that's for sure.
Yeah, Dallas Skier holding down a very tidy second place at the moment, 3 seconds behind our race leader, but half a second ahead of these riders here. We open up to a wide angle shot. You might be able to see Dallas Skier just in front of them. On the last lap, Dallas Skier's lap time was almost 1 second faster than Scott Nicholson, Tom Bramich and Ty Lynch. So he's pulling away pretty quickly from this group at the moment is Dallas Skier.
Yeah, 56.1, that was a pretty impressive lap time for him, but even more impressive, 155.3 for our leader, Harrison Voigt.
Down to KP for an update.
Just spoke to Ty Lynch's crew chief. Tyre wear is going to become a issue shortly, so Ty Lynch has more pace in him. He's just managing tyres.
Well, he's gone back to the lead of this three-bike group at the moment on bike number 85, the 727 Moto team. Very impressive team effort this weekend with Billy McConnell going straight into Q2 for the Alpine Star Superbike category, and Jed Metzer also putting on a great performance on board his machine as well. So Ty Lynch looking to continue that momentum for the 727 Moto team along in the Michelin Supersport class now. Has a quick look over his shoulder. All he can see is bike number 39, Scotty Nicholson, right behind. Bramich just falling off the back of fraction in this lap. Be interested to see what their lap times are. It was a 55.4 for Harry Voigt, a 56.4 for Dallas Skier. So 1 full second faster was Harry Voigt on that lap. A 56.7 for Ty Lynch, who's done his best lap of the race. Nicholson a 57.5 and Bramich a 57.7. Then we go back to Archie McDonald in the 58s, and the rest of the field 58s and 59s all the way back.
Yeah, Ty Lynch is, looks like he's opened it up now and starting to stretch away from those two guys behind him. But look at Harry Voigt. He just looks like he's cruising around, doesn't he?
Well, I think you made a perfect point before, Steve, when you said that the championship that he's been riding in, he would have had to have been riding at 100% or more over the edge for the entire race distance of every one of those races. And in practice, every lap of every time he's on one of those bikes, if you're not riding at 115%, you're going to be at the back of the field. So yeah, Harry Voigt has come here and he's riding on this bike. Although he's not overly familiar with it, it looks like he's having a bit of fun out there to me. I'll tell you what, whoever has built up that machine to be able to compete in this Michelin Supersport category has done a sensational job, because as we've seen with Tom Bramich, you can build a bike, but it takes a while to dial it all in and get it sorted so that the rider can actually take that machine to the absolute limit. And Harry Voigt's been able to do that in his first weekend on the motorcycle.
Well, so the other thing is he's such an experienced rider now as well, that when they get that international experience, they know what they need to go faster, so they can come in and say, well, if you make the bike turn a little bit more, I'm going to go 0.5 quicker. And that's the way that it works, you know what I mean? Like the riders almost know exactly what they need at that high level to change the bike to go quicker. So if you've got a mechanic that can change the bike to do that, the lap time comes.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because having his best weekend that I can remember for quite some time is Dallas Skier. And Dallas has come along as a rider, but he's also got a very handy man in his corner as well, which is assisting that progress.
Yeah, Glenn Richards is down in his pit box now, as we just see Tom Bramich run wide, which has let Scott Nicholson nip back past. So Scott Nicholson up into that 5th, 4th place again at the moment. Yes.
Yeah, it's been a big thing for Dallas. Ever since that Glenn Richards came on board, has been working with Dallas. His riding has started to improve, but I think that's also because the bike setup and everything. Glenn Richards doesn't just tune the rider, he also tunes the bike. Let's go head back down to KP.
Yeah, just an update on Tom Bramich. He might be feeling the pressure a little bit. I just spoke to his crew chief. He kind of needs to loosen up and find that flow and rhythm with his riding.
Yeah, and flow and rhythm and relaxation, that is how you go fast, especially around a track like this. But when you're in pain, it's difficult, because remembering the injuries he's got, not only has he got that separated ankle, which was re-broke at Phillip Island, he's also got injuries to his arm as well, which he needs to get skin grafts on, so he's pretty beat up.
Bramich down the inside of Nicholson through Alpine Star's corner to go back into 4th position. But look at Ty Lynch, has managed to just pull away in front. Ty Lynch actually set his fastest lap of the race on the last lap, and I think he's on track to improve again, a 56.5 for Lynch on the last lap. And when that camera pans out, Lynch has absolutely checked out, Steve. Look at the gap now, back to Tom Bramich. I think that's why Tom was very keen to try and get past Scott Nicholson, because Bramich may have felt that Nicholson was just holding him up. Have a look at Nicholson's left-hand knee slider. He's got absolute shredded plastic hanging off the side of that knee slider. He's been giving that one an absolute workout.
Yeah, that'll be for sale on eBay tonight, that's for sure. But
there won't be much of it left.
There won't be, and that's the way you want to buy it off of eBay, yeah. Yeah, so Dallas Gear there, decent second place for him at the moment. But this is a ding-dong battle for the 4th and 5th. And it's important, really important for Tom Bramich too, to get in front, because every point at the moment matters to him to try and get that 3rd place in the championship.
Well, and you could also see there that the advantage of the slipstream as Reece Belling comes right down the inside and has a big look up the inside of Jake Farnsworth, Crazy Jake. So 2 of the more happy riders that you always see with a smile on through the pits, having a real good battle. They'll both have a smile on their face after this one. Crazy Jake on board bike number 49 and Reece Belling on board bike number 61. As we mentioned, he's a bricklayer, and he told us that his race number comes from the sand-cement ratio to make up the perfect mix for his bricklaying work.
Yeah, pretty handy to know.
Right behind them too, Jack Passfield on board bike number 42 of the Stay Upright Rider training machine. As we mentioned, Passfield coming back from a massive injury at the beginning of the year, made his return last time out at Phillip Island, so good to see him back in the championship. And then right behind Jack Passfield, it is Jack Favell on board bike number 43. But back to this battle between Nicholson and Bramich.
Yeah, Bramich is just sitting there behind Nicholson. Nicholson's definitely stronger in some parts of the circuit, but holding Bramich up in others. The pressure has got to be on now, with only a couple of laps to go after this one. Bramich, as we've said, he needs to get every point he can. 2 different tyre brands there means that these bikes will be stronger at different parts of the circuit as well. Perhaps in the upright braking, you'd expect the Pirelli to have a better contact patch and brake, but around some of the longer corners, the Michelin theoretically, with its harder construction, should have a little bit more grip. But that's why it makes it, you know, such a good class with all these different tyre brands, Dunlop involved as well. You know, we not only have the manufacturers, but the tyre battles too.
Well, you can see the gap now between Ty Lynch and this battle for 4th place in the race between Nicholson and Bramich has opened up, because Ty Lynch did 2 of his fastest laps of the race in a row. That lap then he was back a couple of tenths of a second, back to a 56.7. As they said, the tyre wear is really starting to come into the picture now as we get to the back end of this race. And Nicholson, if anything, on board the Michelins has started to get away from Tom Bramich slightly.
Yeah, he certainly has. And how would that affect the championship? 186 to 189, 3 points difference between Lynch and Bramich for that 2nd, 3rd place in the championship.
Yeah, so the 2-point difference on track with their points and plus the 1-point advantage that Ty Lynch had means that that gap goes out to 3 points. But let's have a look and see how that will affect John Littrus's championship lead. It will be 211 for Litrus and 189, so that's at 22.5 points, the lead. So it will go down to the final Michelin Supersport race this afternoon to decide the Michelin Supersport champion for 2022, with Litrus holding a 22.5 point lead with 25 points up for grabs.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Litrus at the moment is virtually riding around on his own out there on track. So
and probably the safest place to be.
Absolutely. There'll be a lot going through his mind at the moment. Will the bike make it to the finish? Sometimes it's better to be in a battle, because when you're in a battle, time just passes quickly. But when you're on your own out there, you're just always worried about...
Is that a noise? Is the bike making a noise?
Is that a noise? Did I brake in the right spot?
Did they put enough fuel in the tank?
All of that sort of stuff, yeah. But Tom Bramich now just, as you said, Phil, dropping off the back of the number 39, Scotty Nicholson. Scotty seems to have settled himself down now, and it's a big battle to try and catch up to Ty Lynch in front of him, who is trying to make inroads and catching up to Dallas Skier. They're doing exactly the same lap times now, Dallas Skier and Ty Lynch. But,
well, and even Harry Voigt out in the lead on this last lap. His last lap was within a tenth of a second of the times of the Dallas Skier and Ty Lynch.
But when you've got a 5-second lead, you just want to bring it home. So he's backed it off now, 5 seconds. He'd be pretty happy with that. Just bring it home and get that victory.
And will be the first victory for Thriller Motorsport, just put together for this final round of the championship. Harry Voigt will take the honour as the first victor from the team after Jack Miller qualified on the front row of the grid for today's Alpine Star Superbike races on board his Caterpillar Ducati. But final lap for Harry Voigt. He's got a 4.9 second lead at the end of Sector 1. It's come down to 4.8 at the end of Sector 2. Dallas Skier in a very safe second place, and Ty Lynch should round out the podium. But the real interest is this additional point that is on offer for Tom Bramich if he can get past Scott Nicholson on this final lap. No one's getting past this man, though, Steve Martin, because Harry Voigt has sailed away from the field. Once again, he did it all in the first couple of laps, and has pushed on now to enjoy a very handy lead with only 2 corners to go.
Oh, yeah, he's got this one wrapped up for sure. He's not going to make any mistakes from here, but you can see he's still pushing to the nth degree as he goes back down through the gears. And you can see the flags in the background through that turn 17, the Michelin corner, and he just about comes around the final turn to wrap this one up.
Through my Ride Your Motorcycle to Work Week corner he goes, and out onto the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance start finish straight. Congratulations to Harry Voigt, first time out in Michelin Supersport for 2022, and he takes the race win over Dallas Skier on board bike number 86. Great ride from Skiery, and also in third place was Ty Lynch, an injured Ty Lynch battling his way to the finish line and scores a good handful of championship points. Scott Nicholson took home 4th place and Bramich 5th. So there's now 3 points between Lynch and Bramich in the championship. And John Littress comes across the line in 7th place to secure championship points. That will mean that the championship battle goes right down to the final race. Littress will head in with a 22.5 point championship lead over Ty Lynch.
Yeah, it's a big lead, and John Littress, all he needs to do is continue doing what he did in this race, and he'll wrap it up. But what a ride by that man, Harry Voigt. That was incredible.
Here's Cody Wyman on board bike number 88, making his way to the line in his first Australian Supersport race. Good to see the addicted to track rider getting out there and having a good run.
Yeah, he's improving every lap too. His fastest lap of the race was his last lap.
Well, so he continues to learn the track. He eventually finished in 13th place behind Jack Favell and just ahead of Tarbin Walker on board bike number 21. So congratulations to Harry Voigt, first race victor for the Thriller Motorsport team. There's the confirmation of your results. Eventual winning margin over Dallas Skier for Harry Voigt was 4.2 seconds. Ty Lynch back in 3rd place, rounds out the podium. Scott Nicholson in 4th, Bramich in 5th, Archie McDonald in 6th, Littress in 7th, Tom Drain in 8th, Reece Belling 9th, and Jack Passfield rounds out the top 10.
11th was Jake Farnsworth. 12th was Jack Favell. Cody Wyman from America, good result for him, getting faster and faster. 13th, 14th, Tarbin Walker. Declan Carberry, the young South Australian on the Suzuki, 15th. Noel Mann, 16th. Morgan McLaren Wood, 17th. And Bronson Pickett, 18th. John Quinn, 19th. 20th was Mitch Simpson. Not sure what's going on there. I would have thought he would have been quicker than that. And of course, Harrison Voigt, the winner.
Ty Lynch here, P3. You battled through the pain, you managed the tyres, such important championship points.
Yeah, look, that was a really important race. Yes, odds stacked against us, pulled it out the bag. Yeah, team's done an awesome job getting everything ready. Pretty sore now, but yeah, nah.
I bet you are.
Yeah, hard work, hard work.
Okay, great, we'll see you in the next race. And in P2, Dallas Skier, wow, what a race. An incredible performance from you. You must be very happy.
Yeah, no, I'm happy with that one, Kate. Got a good start, got the whole shot, and fortunately made a bit of a muck up into turn 3. Harry come straight up, but good on him, clean pass. And yeah, just couldn't quite stick with him, but happy to get PBs, you know, in the 56s nearly all race. So yeah, couldn't be much happier with that one, first podium. So yeah, thanks heaps to the team.
Yeah, hard work paid off.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's been a hard year, but it's good. Home race, first home race back, and on the podium. So yeah, it was good.
Great, congratulations. And in P1, Harrison Voigt from Thriller Motorsport, their first win. Great start, excellent performance.
Yeah, thank you. At the start it was a little bit difficult when my clutch was slipping, so I got stressed out a little bit because I wasn't sure how much it was going to last. So yeah, I just put my head down for those 2 laps, and I did a PB lap time, so I'm happy with that. And then in the end I struggled a little bit with my arm, which has been giving me issues all weekend, but then I seen the gap and I was like, okay, just roll off a bit and maintain a nice pace.
Didn't look like you struggled.
I was in the end.
Okay, good luck for the next race.
Thank you.
Harry Voigt will start from pole position with Dallas Skier, who was second in race 1 on the front row of the grid, and also Tom Bramich, second row of the grid, Ty Lynch, Scott Nicholson and Archie McDonald.
Jake Farnsworth on row 3 with John Littress next to him. Keep an eye on him in the race. Tom Drain having his last race on a road bike in Australia. Reece Belling, Jack Passfield and Jack Favell on row 4. Row 5, Declan Carberry, Tarbin Walker and Luca Durning on the Yamaha. Cody Wyman from America, Bronson Pickett and Noel Mann finish row 6.
Yeah, international back of the field there with Cody Wyman, and also a couple of the Irish guys back there. Morgan McLaren Wood also back there on the back of the grid as well, along with John Quinn, another member of the Irish racing team, as the riders come round down that little back straight. And they will go into the final couple of corners to take up their positions on the grid. As we mentioned, Littress starting a little bit further back in the pack on the middle of row 3. And as we've seen several times this weekend, and as Brian Starring found out, you don't get the start and you end up back in the pack, things can happen, especially into some of the late braking areas around this track.
Well, Ty Lynch needs to win this race virtually, and if he's got any chance of winning the championship.
Yep, and Littress,
well, would have to not finish.
Would have to not finish, and also Tom Bramich, if he was to win the race, that would mean that he would move into second in the championship overall as well, regardless of where Ty Lynch finished. But there's one fly in that ointment for all of those riders, and that is that man there, Harry Voigt, on board bike number 29, the first winner from the Thriller Miller Motorsport team here this weekend when he did it in Michelin Supersport race 1 earlier on today. Ready to go racing for the final time of the year for the Michelin Supersport category. Michelin Supersport is go. What a start from Harry Voigt on board bike number 29. He just blasts off the line, and as he did in race 1, moves to the middle of the circuit to try and stop all the riders coming over. And as they now fan across to the right-hand side of his straight, look how late he is on the brakes. That's exactly what you said before, Steve, about how every lap that he's raced this year in the Red Bull Rookies Cup has had to be raced at more than 100%, and he does that exactly into turn 1 and comes out of there with a little lead over Tom Bramich and Ty Lynch, that are second and third in the championship, and they're second and third on the road.
Yeah, he is not hanging around on the first lap. He's got that thing out of control everywhere, but somehow maintaining control. Already got a bit of a gap on Tom Bramich, but up the inside goes Ty Lynch. Ty Lynch knows how important it is to win this one.
Good start from Littress too. He's up into about 5th position, so he's right behind our lead group of riders. Dallas Skier back in 4th place. Then I think you'll find it is the 308 machine of John Littress. You can see the white bike. It's either him or Archie McDonald that's got a cracking start. It may even be Archie McDonald. In actual fact, just having a look at it, I think it may be Archie McDonald on 69 on the Addicted to Track machine.
Yeah, well, this is the first time that he's had that updated R6. Last time out, he rode the old model, so he's adapting to it quite well. A good start's put him right up there.
Yeah, there is Littress back there in the field. He's in 10th position. But that will be enough. If he manages to finish in 10th position, will be enough to win the championship.
Just look at Harry Voigt and the way that he's riding that bike. You can't twist the throttle any harder than that. He's just about twisting it off of the handlebar the way that he's getting out of those corners.
It's reminiscent of watching Robbie Bugden. He used to race. He looked like he was almost ripping the right handlebar off every time he went for the throttle. So they come across the top of the hill and down into Michelin. The other skier goes up the inside of Tom Bramage as well to take up the running in third.
The other thing I noticed when I look at Harry Voigt is he's always tucked in behind the screen, thinking of aerodynamics, thinking of saving energy. But Dallas Skier's not thinking about that, is he? Now, Dallas was on the podium in second spot earlier on today, so interesting to see if he can replicate that. He's got a lot more work to do if he's going to do it, though.
So down into Motul corner, turn one we go. Skiers goes back up the inside of Bramage. They've overtaken each other 3 times on the straight. Great ride from Jake Farnsworth on board bike number 49. Crazy Jake doing a good job. We saw him on the podium at Morgan Park. He's hoping to repeat that here at the final race of the year.
There's Scott Nicholson just on the back of that group too. The first of the Michelin shod riders out on track.
So round through Ducati we come, just looking back in the field. See where Littress is. He's moved up 1 position, getting ahead of Tarbin Walker into 9th. Tom Drain, the next rider ahead of him, and of course Tom Drain heading back over to the US to race in the National Flat Track Championships over there. Big announcement coming in the next week about what team he has signed for to go back and complete in the full season in 2023. This will be his last Michelin Supersport race for this foreseeable future from the young man from Western New South Wales that is come back from a stint in America this year with multiple race wins to his name, and his brother did pretty well over there as well. So I think that both of the Drain boys, Sam, who's racing in the Blue Crew Oceania Junior Cup, will be heading back overseas this year.
This is a much better ride for Archie McDonald. Look at him there. He's right on the back of Tom Bramage now. Completely different line. They're looking to perhaps dive up the inside. Scott Nicholson on the back there too. Tom Bramage just hanging in there at the moment with Ty Lynch in front of him and Dallas Skier in that group too.
Well, we saw Archie McDonald put in a great ride at the end of the weekend, the last round at Phillip Island as well. So he's repeating that feat here again at the Bend Motorsport Park on a completely different motorcycle. It's one of the Addicted to Track entries that he's riding this weekend. And as you pointed out, Steve, it is the updated model, not the older model, which that bike would have to have been 10 years old at least, the bike that he was racing at Phillip Island a week or so ago. He's into the slipstream now, Tom Bramage, trying to move up 1 further position and take up the running in 4th. But it is still Harry Voigt from Ty Lynch, Dallas Skier, Tom Bramage, and Archie can't get it done.
No, he can't. There's a good battle back there too. There's John Littress. All he needs to do is stay safe, but that's easier said than done with guys like Tom Drain and also Jack Passfield trying to get past you. Jake Farnsworth there, just in front of them too.
Yeah, Jake Farnsworth is having a fantastic year. Back through the field, looking to see where some of the other riders are. Cody Wyman, or dropping back down through the field. Looks like Cody Wyman, something may have happened to him. He's dropped back a couple of places. Let's hope that it stops there for Cody Wyman. It does. Looks like he's just run wide and lost a couple of positions. Unfortunately, Morgan McLaren Wood has crashed at turn 10. Good news, though, that the rider is up and A-OK. Having a look back through the field as well. Reece Belling sitting back in 13th position, bike number 61. He told us this morning the reason why he's bike number 61. He's a bricklayer, and 6-to-1, that's the ratio of sand to cement in a perfect mortar mix.
Yeah, well, I hope I can get that right. And hopefully it's not 6 cement, 1 sand. Anyway, look at the fairing on...
That'll make you a little bit harder, Steve.
It will. The fairing on Scott Nicholson's bike's moving around a lot. Looks like a fastener's come loose or something on that. It's not affecting him too much.
There we go. There is an updated live championship score, and as we mentioned, John Littress is on target to claim the Michelin Supersport Championship for 2022 if he finishes where he is now, and that is, just having a look at it, bike number 308 in 8th position. He will finish on 223.5 points, 209 for Ty Lynch, and Tom Bramage 6 points further back in 3rd position.
You know, we heard from him just before in the interview, and he said that this is the most important thing of his life, the thing that he's been aiming for his whole life, to get this Supersport Championship. So, you know, to finish 8th, he's just doing what he needs to do. I've got no doubt he could be running up in this front group as Scott Nicholson nips up the inside and makes the move on Archie McDonald.
Very narrow line into that corner from Nicholson. He did well to try and maintain speed on the way out. Archie couldn't quite get back past the other rider, the traction control motorsport machine of Scott Nicholson. But yeah, John Littress has won multiple Australian
Well, he has,
championships and in multiple disciplines as well, in dirt track and I think Supermoto as well, and the different capacity sizes as well for Littress. As another big move on the brakes for Nicholson down the inside of Bramage. Bramage goes around the outside. He was taking that fast and flowing line that you were talking about earlier in the Superbike race with Arthur Cece's as Troy Herfoss tried to go up the inside. But on that occasion, it was Tom Bramage that came out on top.
Yeah, we just have another look there. You can see all the way to the inside of the track goes the number 39 on the AMX replay. Nips up the inside there. A little bit of chatter, but he manages to block pass on Archie McDonald there. So a good move by Scott Nicholson. He's working his way forward. If he keeps going like that, can get in front of Tom Bramage. That'll give him a shot at Dallas Skier for the last shot on the podium. But Dallas Skier up the road by about a second now.
Yeah, so it is still Harry Voigt with a lead of 3.3 seconds over Ty Lynch, Dallas Skier in third place. The real action at the moment, though, is this battle for 4th, 5th and 6th between Tom Bramage, Scott Nicholson and Archie McDonald. The next rider back behind these two, behind these three, is in fact our championship leader, John Littress. And as we see him, there he comes across the top of the hill there. He's opened up a little bit of a gap over Jack Passfield. Jake Farnsworth in 9th. Tom Drain rounds out the top 10 with Reece Belling in 11th and Jack Favell in 12th.
Let's head down to Kate.
Just got an update from Ty Lynch's crew chief. They made a change to the rear shock, which really assisted with his start and also tyre wear in race 1.
Well, he's doing a sensational job at the moment, is Ty Lynch, holding down 2nd place. Just did his fastest lap of the race, in fact, Steve, with a 1:56.587. The fastest lap of the race, though, a 55.8. The only rider in the 55s was Harry Voigt. He did that on lap 2, and that's the reason why he holds a 3.1 second lead over Ty Lynch. And then another 1.8 seconds from Ty Lynch back to Dallas Skier.
And Nicholson's just got past Tom Bramage in the Pirelli corner now. Tom Bramage dives up the inside, takes that narrow line. Oh, but can't quite do it. Nicholson through.
Right on the back of them still is Archie McDonald on board bike number 69. Archie's been racing overseas and will be heading back overseas again next year as well. So great to see him coming back and joining this large throng of riders coming back to enjoy their summer break in Australia and coming here to the Bend Motorsport Park. Oh, big move from Archie McDonald up the inside of Tom Bramage.
Yeah, that was a tough move, but he made it work, didn't he? Good move there by Archie. He's certainly adapting to that new model bike. Tucked in behind the screen there, and he heads up into the Alpine Stars corner, and he's got Scott Nicholson in his sights now. This is probably the best result. Let's have another look on the AMX replay there. You can't do that there, but he does it. Bramage moves out a little bit wide. He lines it up, full trust on the, just like diving for that gap. He dove for the gap and he got it and paid it off.
It's a fast change of direction. It was even faster for, oh, is that Nicholson nearly off the track there on the run across the top of the hill and down into Michelin. Did incredibly well just to keep that bike somewhere near the tarmac. He was almost off into the grass.
Right.
Gives you an idea of how hard Nicholson on board bike number 39 is really pushing at the moment.
Absolutely. Bramage needs to dig deep if he's going to stay on the back of this group now. We just have another look there. He comes all the way down the hill, almost just onto the grass. So lucky to get away with that. Scott Nicholson wide out of the flip-flop there. But his heartbeat's recovered by the time he gets into Motul corner, turn 1 here at the Bend. On the left-hand side now, then into the right he goes. It's a long right-hand corner. This about 180 degrees. You've got to get on the gas nice and early out of there. Up through the gearbox, a bit blind through that right, then into the Ducati left. Both of those wheels squirreling. Let's head back down to Kate.
He's playing it safe. Just an update from John Littress's crew chief. He's playing it safe where he is. He's leading that group of riders that he's with, so he's also in a safe position.
Yeah, thanks, KP. Great to hear from the pit's confirmation of what we've been saying up here, that at the moment he's just doing what he has to do because he's been working his whole life towards this, his biggest Australian championship yet. He has won several of them, but as you heard in that package leading into this event, none of them rival the importance of this one here. Also, the importance for these two is to get as high as they possibly can. They are battling for 4th place at the moment. Remember, Scott Nicholson took his first win in this class at Queensland in race 2 at Queensland Raceway, where he scored the win. He was also on the podium in the second race of that round as well. Seen him knock on the door of the podium. He also scored a podium in the final race at Phillip Island last weekend as well. So doing a good job, but no one's doing a job as good as this man here on board that Yamaha YZF R6. Only built specially for this meeting, Steve Martin, and Harry Voigt has put on a real show here this weekend and shows what racing overseas in an incredibly tough championship like the Red Bull Rookies can do for your riding career.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes you tough, and he's one of the toughest out there, that's for sure. His lap times certainly say that. The way that he's riding that bike says that. He's riding that Voigt contracting PWR machine perfectly.
The battle's still really on there between Nicholson, McDonald and Bramich.
It looks like Bramich has regrouped a bit too now. He was looking like he was possibly going to drop off the back of that group, but he's hanging in there, which is good because, you know, sometimes when things don't feel right, you've got to dig deep. That doesn't look safe to me to be in the middle of that group, John. We got a report that you were riding safely, but it's never safe in a group of 4 600s out on track.
Yeah, especially not with Jack Passfield. Crazy Jake Farnsworth on board bike number 49. And also Tom Drain, the man that's used to riding flat track, and but has also shown that he's pretty good on the brakes as well. That's the red machine at the back there. So, Farnsworth has a big look down the inside of Littrus, the man that is hoping to win his first Michelin Supersport Championship. At the moment, he's trying desperately to try and find his way past the stay upright rider training machine of Jack Passfield.
Well, it would have to be double jeopardy for Ty Lynch to win the championship at this time. Voigt would have to not finish, and also that man there, Littrus, would also have to not finish. But that would make Lynch the champion. That's the only way it could happen, but I cannot see that happening.
We're on lap 7 of 9, so we're getting close to the finish now.
How nervous would he be out there at the moment?
I reckon that Littrus would be nervous, but the crew back in the pits watching the Caboolture Yamaha Sol Invictus entry with their rider on it, battling for this championship, are possibly more nervous. I reckon his dad has probably got no fingernails left at all.
I think you might be right there. I mean, he's doing everything exactly as he needs to. Meanwhile, it is Scott Nicholson who leads the way over Archie McDonald, vying over that 4th position. First, second and third well up the road now. Tom Bramich has just dropped off the back of that group there. And you can see there is Dallas Skier, and then Ty Lynch is in front of him, and Harrison Voigt 5 seconds up the road.
Remember what Glenn Allerton said after Superbike race number 1, that he was involved in that hectic battle with Troy Herfoss and Wayne Maxwell, and before he knew it, it was the last lap of the race, and it went so quickly. That's what I'm thinking that John Lewis is probably hoping at the moment, because he's involved in a battle, unlike the race earlier on today, where he was out by himself. He probably would have been hearing noises, thinking there was something wrong with the bike.
It'll be worse out there for him now, because he knows this is it. This is it. He's got to finish this race, and he's in a dice with 3 or 4 people. He doesn't want to drop back anymore. He knows Ty Lynch is in front of him. He probably doesn't know where Ty is on the racetrack. It'll be very, very worrisome for him out there. I mean, if it was his 3rd or 4th 600 championship, yeah, but this is his first one, so he really wants to make it happen.
Archie McDonald still trying to find a way past Nicholson for 4th position at the moment.
McDonald's getting stronger and stronger as the laps go by, isn't he? He's really finding his feet on this R6.
Yeah, he's been racing in a very tough championship all year too, in the CIV championships, as Archie McDonald, as he has a big look up the inside. He'll be doing a fair bit of training, I imagine, in the off-season back here in Australia, as well as he prepares to head back overseas for the 23 season.
Yeah, he's definitely looking for a braking manoeuvre, and there he goes up the inside there. Does he pull it off? So close. Oh!
They've come together on the exit of that corner. That's the Honda corner as they change direction to go across the top of the hill and down into Michelin. I thought Archie was going to sneak up the inside there, but Nicholson wasn't giving it up without a red-hot fight. As we have a look at the AMX Superstores replay, you can see how tight Archie was there. And as Nicholson just straightened the bike up to go across the top of the corner, it was Archie that just nudged him, give him a little bit of a love tap as they went across the top of the hill.
A love tap, baby.
Final lap now for our race leader, Harry Voigt. The lead, 5.3 seconds. 2nd position, Ty Lynch. 3rd place, Dallas Skier. Nicholson and Archie McDonald still battling away for 4th and 5th position. We go back now to our championship leader, Littrus. Jake Farnsworth has a big look up the inside, can't get past Littrus, who is still sat there behind Jack Passfield on bike number 42. That's the stay upright rider training entry. Farnsworth has another look down the inside.
Yeah, this is the critical part of the race now, because all these other riders around Johnny Littress are going to be thinking, right, well, this is the last lap. I've got to try and get past, got to try and dive up the inside. And Jake Farnsworth looks like he's going to have a go, and there he goes. Johnny Littress lets him go, which is a real smart thing to do.
And that was the clean, safe move that Jake Farnsworth had been looking for a lap or two now to try and find his way past. He moves up into 8th position. Littress drops back to 9th, but that's still okay for the championship. With Ty Lynch not taking the win here, not like he needed to do. That lead is still being held down by Harry Voigt with a 6-second gap over Ty Lynch in 2nd place.
Yeah, I mean, Ty's done everything that he can do to win this championship, but he had a little bit of bad luck come together with Dallas Skier last time out, and that put paid to his championship hopes in reality. All John Littress needed to do was ride around here this weekend, and that is exactly what he's doing. But now he's got Tom Drain right on the back wheel.
One more corner to go for our race leader. It is the Ride Your Motorcycle to Work corner, and out onto the My Bike start finish straight we come. And it is Harry Voigt that takes the win, his 2nd win of the weekend over Ty Lynch and Dallas Skier. Through the final corners we come now with our champion-elect. But there is the battle that we see going the way of Scott Nicholson, and Archie McDonald not happy with that 5th place. Through the final corner we go now with our champion. The Michelin Supersport champion for 2022 will be John Littress. That position there in 9th is good enough for him to claim the title, his 1st Australian Road Racing Championship, to add that to all his other Australian championships. But as he said, this one is the most important. It is the most critical one of his career. His whole life has been dedicated to a moment like this, and he's come a long way in the last couple of years, has John Littress on board that solid Victus Caboolture Yamaha entry.
And it's right now that he realises how much pressure he had on him. And you can just see there he's having a good chat with Scott Nicholson. And boy, what a moment for that young man.
Well, congratulations to John Littress and the team. Bike number 308 will be able to wear the number 1 plate next year if he comes back and races again in the Michelin Supersport category. He taps the bike, he taps his head, he's done a sensational job. And I wonder if he's going to get a gold AGV helmet as he comes back to the pit lane.
Well, we're about to find out, aren't we?
He's going to celebrate with a stand-up wheelie there.
Pressure's certainly off him now, though. Look at him go. He's a lot more energetic.
He's looking a lot freer on the motorcycle than he was in that entire race, Steve.
Certainly is, he certainly is. But he deserved it. I mean, like, he's had some great results all year. He's run away with races like Harrison Voigt has here, in fact, throughout the season as well. He's also had bad luck, but in the end, he made it count. What a ride, what a year he's had. Brilliant stuff.
Yeah, he had a double victory at Wakefield Park for round 3. He went 2-1 at Queensland Raceway. Remember that championship-defining ride at Morgan Park when he had the bike issues and he kept stopping the bike, restarting it. He managed to finish 13th and get good championship points in the end. That was what probably allowed him to go into this race with a decent buffer over Ty Lynch and also Tom Bramage, who finished 3rd in the championship. But we said then that could have been a championship-defining ride, and in the end, I think it was.
Yeah, absolutely. What a job done by the Caboolture Yamaha, man. Really, really deserves this. I can't wait to see the emotion on his face at the podium. Look at him. I mean, when was the last time you saw him doing a wheelie? I really don't remember. So
it's taken him half a lap to get the good stand-up wheelie that we know he's quite capable of sorted out as he came down through turns 17 and 18 there. But there is the confirmation of your results. Harry Voigt, Ty Lynch and Dallas Skier, 1, 2, 3 in the race. But the real attention is the man that finished back there, a little bit further back in the field in 9th place, but he wraps up the Michelin Supersport Championship for season 2022. Nicholson finished in 4th place, Archie McDonald just behind in 5th. Bramage will take 3rd in the championship behind Ty Lynch with 6th place. Passfield in 7th, Jake Farnsworth in 8th. Tom Drain rounds out that top 10.
Yeah, good ride for Tom Drain. His last race in the championship too, moving on overseas to race in the flat track in America next year.
So our top 3 and our champion are back into Parc Fermé. And I think there's going to be some tears of joy there for John Littress, the Queenslander.
The emotion's starting to come out, isn't it?
Yes, I think now that the race is finished, he realised what has just happened.
I don't know if he'll pull his helmet off just yet.
In fact, I'm surprised he's got the visor up. He's probably just trying to soak it all in at the moment. There's Ty giving him congratulations. Great effort there from Ty Lynch. He did everything he possibly could, didn't he, Steve, to try and
well, he rode
put
with
the pressure on.
He rode with a broken ankle here, didn't he, to try and do it? And look at that. Now, there's some emotion.
Yeah, there's his dad, Aaron, coming in to give him the congratulations. They've been working so hard for this championship. Good to see. His dad's still got his sunglasses on.
Yeah.
They got the championship shirts on as well. I can't imagine it'll be too long before John puts his championship shirt on.
Yeah, what a brilliant job. What a brilliant job.
Remember, it was only a couple of years ago that he was racing in the junior classes in the Supersport 300 class. Took a couple of wins in that class, but then moved up into a Supersport last year. Put in some really good performances in his debut year of the championship. But this year has been absolutely sensational.
There's Scott Bishop from Yamaha. You always know you're doing good things when Scott's around. So a little bit of a pat on the back and applause from the factory Yamaha team too. So that's always good to see. There's Teo Atsu just coming in. Of course, they've raced together in the past.
Final championship points for 2022 sees John Littris finish on 223.5. Just ahead of Ty Lynch on 209 and Tom Bramich third in the championship on 201. Nicholson finishes in fourth place. Tom Drain in fifth, and good luck next year over in the Moto America Flat Track Championships to Tom Drain. Reece Belling on bike number 61 finishes in sixth place. Jake Farnsworth in seventh, Tarbin Walker in eighth, Mitch Kuhn in ninth, and Noel Mound rounds out the top 10. Down to Park Fermé now with Kate Peck.
The 2022 Michelin Supersport champion is John Littris. John, what does this championship mean to you and your family? So much hard work.
Yeah, it's just been tons of hard work. Like, I've been racing for 11 years now, and it's just all come down to racing this championship and getting this one. So it's been so good. I couldn't do it without all the people that helped me. All my sponsors, all my family, my friends, just everyone. It's just so great. Thank you, everyone.
And it was your 18th birthday this weekend. What a birthday treat.
Yeah, definitely one to remember.
Well done. You go and celebrate.
Thank you very much.
All right, and on to our race results. In P3, Dallas Skier. Dallas, your second podium for the weekend. Congratulations. You've really just brought it all together, haven't you, towards the start of the season? We might need to extend this season for you.
Yeah, exactly. This could have happened at the start of the year, but no, it's a good way to finish the year out and shows our pace potential for next year. So, I just want to give a shout out to Rick's Crossbred Ram Shearing.
Excellent. Well done, Dallas. And in P2, Ty Lynch. Ty, just tell us, you are hobbling right now. I don't think we can underestimate just how badly you are injured. That must have been a really tough race for you, but an excellent result.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, we got the job done, so that's all that matters. So huge shout out to Johnny. He rode awesome. Harrison rode awesome. I just couldn't hack it in that race. I tried really hard, and but look, the team's done an awesome job. The bike's fantastic. Everyone involved in our program's just done an awesome job. So I can't thank everyone enough. And it's just awesome to see all these familiar friends and family faces out here. So huge shout out to everyone that come and watch today. And it's good.
Excellent. Well done. You go celebrate.
Cheers.
And in P1, Harrison Voigt from Thriller Motorsport. Harrison, another dominant performance from you. How did you enjoy racing here this weekend? Because it's great to have you back from overseas.
First of all, big thank you to Thriller Motorsport and especially Jack for letting me be a part of the pit box with them this weekend. It's been awesome, and to look up to Jack and all the other guys as well, including Marcel and Josh. So a big thank you to them, and I've really enjoyed this weekend. It's great to see so many people here, and a big thank you to Jack as well for coming along, and it shows how good of a person he is to bring. No matter if he's a MotoGP rider, he still comes along and supports the ASBK, which is great to see. And big thank you to all my team here, Mum and Dad, and Steve Nagel and Shane Stratton for spinning the spanners for me this weekend. And I'm really happy with how this weekend went.
And just quickly, what is Jack Miller like as a boss?
A legend.
Excellent. Well done, Harry.
Thank you.